yeah, late night here, and I'm just angry. Had like a memory, a thought. Something happened at a great pickup truck. Well, lit up. I seen that pickup truck on Atlantic Avenue before. Young people there, and they took one of the cones that was protecting, showcasing the pothole so people wouldn't ride over it. And he was like, young boys, you ain't seen nothing there. I'm like, all right, all right. First, I was like, how dare you say that? I'm not a police. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I got your license plate, and I feel like it. Not it, just like, I didn't get the license plate. Well, they would have recorded it, would have caught up to them or something. I was thinking, should I get my three wheeler? I'm not gonna catch up to them. I'm like, come on, give me the cone, you know. But that's where it goes. Protect your neighbor. I mean, now I'm just making fun of the whole. I'm mocking myself basically. I was neither here nor there. I was walking around looking over cameras, so to get the license plate or description, not description, the registration plate. But there's no cameras here. Just like it dawned on me, like why does a motel have cameras even on the sidewalk, even though it's public property? But you could argue it's public property. They're only pointing in certain areas, even other public buildings. Oh, there's a light cameras, I believe, for red lights on both intersections. Plenty more. I never liked those. But anyway, I don't know if I had a flashback. I had a recurring memory of walking through a. I don't know if it was right now or somebody else was thinking, because a lot of people think and it interjects with my mind. But yeah, I remember. I guess if I was here in '98, because I don't fully remember it. These little flashbacks of moments and stuff like that. Why the fuck would Jimmy Gonzalez and the rest of those crazy motherfuckers, like they call themselves, show up over here? I didn't have none of the numbers. I mean, they could have called my mother and just, hey, be pretentious, because that's what Jimmy does, or Garcia too. A lot of other fucking people over there. Jimmy did that multiple times. As soon as I actually, post 2000, actually I had a job, and then my first paycheck, he just happened to, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Come out, let's hang out. We haven't talked in a while. As soon as I started a job, a lot of other people did that too. First fucking paycheck, they just said, like right there, the money, But I think if it was '98, we had no contact. And after they came after Luke over there, they stalked and followed him, and I didn't fully know. I mean, it played in my mind like a clairvoyance, as it's known. I don't know who was thinking or I never really fully seen it. But Jimmy Gonzalez, Luke lived in Jersey City. That's one of the residences he had. He would show up to his place and just, him and his friends, they just like stalk, harass him. One time I think they went up the staircase and I think Luke tried to lock him in, especially Jimmy. Luke tried to put like hot water or something, or oil or something from the roof to hit him, to just leave him alone, A couple other people, they were like, Lucas went through something, and we had the same mindset. And he didn't tell him no, they just like wanted to be, I don't know if someone else said, but sure, up his ass and shit. Hateful on him, to Atlantic City, they had to go with him and shit. They didn't want to play cards, like, just like, what are you doing? So Gonzalez, Segura, I guess, Fernando Segura, the rest of them just happened to be here when I was here. And it's like, as far as Jimmy goes, through high school, we never really fully spoke. 3 years, actually. If it was 98, 3 years, we didn't speak. I mean, like, a lot of times in 8th grade, Jimmy was like, he was trying to harass me, like bully me, actually. I stood up to him a couple times. He was easy to stand up to, actually. He really was. And yeah, I guess Luke had some money. He had Lucas P had millions of dollars. Had a company. He had some kind of celebrity fame, I guess. He did his stand up. He wrote for TV shows in Poland. I mean, a couple songs, melodies. I remember it played in my head. I wasn't there. Again, I'm explaining clairvoyance. I don't know how I seen it. It was 2022 actually, 2021. People were messing with my mind so much. After it all was relieved, it was like not a repressive, like I was, repressing it, but it played it in my mind when I was, getting rid of PTSD actually, and I fully cured my mind from the PTSD, so I have no memory lapses. And it was a moment like Jimmy showed up in Lucas's New Jersey City apartment. And Luke was actually nice to him. He explained how he makes music. It was like, computers. He had a lot of, I mean, in the 90s, so it wasn't just like an application, He had a lot of technological things, and I think he I don't know if he fully invented. He was working at, I don't know if it was DVR. It was acting like a remote. It was like a remote, but it was a program or something like that. So he was doing something with technology, and also he was doing mathematics as well. You know, he was doing things like that. And Jimmy, I don't know if like, he's like, oh, I wouldn't know this and the other thing. Luke was trying to explain to him this and the other thing. So it played in my mind. And the last time I think he saw Jimmy, it was like, Jimmy, I think he went through something his senior year. He was a little bit different. He wasn't as immature, He wasn't smoking weed, actually. He quit weed. He changed his lingo, He was how he really was, actually, He went through stages of being different. And I think that's the last time. I think Luke talked about, time traveling or something like that. I think Luke, Lucas P, he actually engaged in traveling in other dimensions when he was into that. But yeah, it was like, they just had to fucking be here. And I was like, I said out loud, it's like, yeah, I'll tell him to face, I didn't fucking invite you here. I don't want none of you fucking here.